Unit 6 Vocabulary. Please use your notes to help you answer the questions. Adulterate. The assessment data from the vocabulary test was adulterated as a result of one student divulging the answers to the test to the rest of the class. The results were not accurate because the teacher didn't actually know what the students knew. How can someone adulterate their marriage? By setting up a date night each week or by having an affair with another person? If you look at the picture, the sentence says, Bert failed to realize the punch had been adulterated with alcohol. Ascertain. In order to ascertain the truth about who cheated on the test, the judges used coercion to get one of the suspects to confess to a crime he didn't commit. A person could ascertain their grades by making up tests and quizzes or checking their parent portal. If you look over at the picture, it says step over here and we'll ascertain whether or not you're telling the truth. And it's a lie detector test. So think about what a lie detector test can determine. Cogent. Rodney presented a cogent argument to his parents about why he should be allowed to stay out past 10 p.m. on a school night. His parents let him stay out until 11 p.m. the next night. Cogent most nearly means weak and flawed, or strong and convincing. Compunction. After John committed adultery, he was overcome with an overwhelming sense of compunction for cheating on his wife. John felt guilty and remorseful, or happy and excited. Cursory. The cursory cleaning of my bedroom was evident to my mother when she opened my closet door and all of my clothes fell out. She was extremely disappointed in how little effort I put into doing what she asked of me. If your teacher says you did a cursory job on your essay, what could you probably expect? An A, because you took your time on the details, or a C, because you did it quickly and didn't proofread. If you look at the gentleman in the picture, it looks like he's in a hurry. Decipher. Mrs. Lewis had a hard time deciphering what Billy's homework said. Because he did a cursory completion of the assignment on the bus, his handwriting was extremely difficult to read. What is something you might have to decipher? The meanings of symbols a teacher uses on an assignment, or words that are defined for you? Discern. The job of a police officer in an interrogation is to discern whether or not the suspect is telling the truth. A chef uses his taste buds to discern which flavors go well together. True or false? Exhaustive. Despite an exhaustive search of my house, I was unable to locate my favorite pair of jeans. Because I couldn't find them in any room of the house, I had to go and buy a new pair. An exhaustive search would be a detailed and thorough search or a quick and cursory search. If you look at the picture, the man looks like he is exhausted and can no longer bear to put any more energy through. Formulate. Sophia carefully formulated a plan to steal the binky from Cecilia. She waited until Cecilia turned her head to play with another toy, and then she made her calculated move. What is something you must formulate? Choosing your sister's side in an argument, or a thesis statement in an essay? If you look at the picture, the boy is formulating the next move on the board. Methodical. Mrs. Jones methodically plans her trips to the grocery store. First, she looks through all the ads to see what's on sale. Second, she writes a list of what she needs. Lastly, she ensures her kids aren't home so she doesn't have to take them with her. If you plan something methodically, you pay attention to detail and organize in a certain way, or do it in a quick and cursory manner. Meticulous. My sister is so meticulous in creating the details of her work. It sometimes takes her 4 hours just to sketch one simple drawing. If every single line on the page isn't perfect, she will restart the entire drawing. Meticulous directions on an assignment would be precise and helpful, or vague and confusing. Prevalent. Cheating became so prevalent such a prevalent problem in our school that the teachers and administrators were forced to make the consequences more strict if the students continued to violate the policy because of the number of cases got so out of control. A prevalent problem happens infrequently or all of the time. Think about the words in the picture and how many times you've probably heard them. Quintessence. Babies are the quintessence of purity. They haven't been exposed to any of the evils of the world, and this makes them the best representation for pureness. A synonym for quintessence would be opposite or ideal. Transcend. Humans have the ability to transcend the evils of racism. If we can just look beyond the superficial factors of the individuals, we can rise above the hate this world has. If you transcend poverty, you have to beg for money on the streets, or you're able to buy a home and pay your bills. Vanguard. Rihanna received the Video Vanguard Award for one of her most popular songs. She's not only a leader in singing, but she's also a leader in fashion. Vanguard most nearly means the group of people who are the leaders of an action or movement in society, politics, art, etc., or the troops moving at the head of an army. Now we're going to review some words from marking period 1 that you will see on your test this marking period. Disingenuous and coerce. Because he believed she was being disingenuous, Reverend Hale coerced a confession out of Abigail by asking her a series of intimidating questions. Her deceitful nature became evident when her forced confession blamed Tituba. If you are disingenuous and coerced into answering a question, are you telling the truth? Yes, because you are sincere and don't feel pressured. No, because you are deceitful and feel threatened, so you don't feel badly putting the blame on someone else. Melanie's eccentric clothing choice caused her friends to alienate and shun her from their social group. They didn't want to be associated with someone whom others refer to as bizarre or weird. Melanie's friends singled her out because she dressed in a way that other people thought was strange, or singled her out because they thought her clothes were cool and they were jealous. Peter exulted after receiving the benevolent donation from the scholarship committee. He couldn't control how excited he felt about such a generous act of kindness. Peter was happy because he thinks people are so nice, overjoyed because someone was so generous. Acclimate and dwindle. As I have become more acclimated to teaching over the years, my fears of uncertainty have dwindled. In fact, I have become so used to being in the front of the classroom, I hardly think about my fear of messing up at all. My acclimation to my job has caused my fear of messing up to dwindle, so, although it has been a few years, my fears have remained the same. Because I have gotten used to teaching, my fears of messing up have significantly decreased over time. Divulge and escalate. When Abigail divulged Tituba's name, she accused her of being a witch. After she did this, the tension and hysteria continued to escalate and caused further arguing and fear among the people in Salem. Divulging Tituba's name caused hysteria to escalate. Because Abby told Tituba's name, the feeling of fear and paranoia grew larger, or because Abby hinted at Tituba's possibly trafficking with the devil, the fear of witches in Salem remained the same. And those are your words for review for the marking period.